today I am going to be going over a presentation on how to make a lot more money with your career or business by acquiring Never Broke Again ticket. The first thing we need to understand, this is about the more of a common path of acquiring a degree from school or whatever it might be, where you first study hard in high school, you get high grades, you ace your final exams and your SATs or ACTs, and that pretty much is 3 to 4 years invested of your time. Then you apply to a lot of universities and you hopefully get accepted to a quote-unquote good one. You pick a difficult degree and make sure you get high grades, and then you finally graduate with a diploma showcasing your knowledge in that topic. And that's once again another 3 to 4 years invested. So a total of 6 to 8 years to get the Never Broke Again ticket, the traditional way, getting the degree. A good college degree is treated as your way out of struggling. And yeah, while there's some truth to it, it's not easy to get a job in the current market. You get laid off at any moment, and if every year there are hundreds of thousands of graduating the degree in something like computer science, just having a diploma like everyone else is not that interesting to your future employers. You can invest close to 8 years of your life to feel like you'll always be okay, to feel like you'll always be able to have an income. But there's always the risk of you losing your income and struggling to get back up. But there's another way to get this feeling and also to ensure that you will never be broke again. A way to punch your ticket in less than 6 months instead of 6 years. A ticket that's more unique and appetizing to companies than a degree. A ticket that will almost guarantee you will never below a certain income even if you lose it. And this real Never Broke Again ticket is collecting a revenue-focused case study. If you ever heard of someone say something like, employers don't care about your degree, they care about your experience, you can think of a case study as a degree for a real life experience. In this presentation, you'll learn what is a case study and what's not a case study. So we'll go through some common misconceptions, why revenue-focused case studies are the best, why having a case study will always keep you from dropping below a certain income level, how to put yourself in the position to be able to collect a case study, how to collect a case study, and how to use your new ticket to move up in income brackets. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Leevi Eerola. I built a lead gen agency from 0 to 40,000 a month in revenue in about 6 months with no past experience. I also built a client acquisition consulting agency from 0 to 7 figures in less than 12 months. We actually hit our 7-figure run rate in like 6 months. And me and my team have helped, for example, Wyatt Beamer to scale his agency from $500 a month to $76,000 a month in net profit in less than 9 months. We helped Kasper Korhonen scale Leadsify from $12,000 a month to $6,000 a month in 4 months. We have Damien Elsing go from collecting around $10,000 a month with his agency to collecting $100,000 worth of deals in 90 days. We have Wesley Hoang go from 0 to $10,600 in monthly revenue in 60 days. Joel Storher go from losing money with his paid ad agency to collecting $18,000 in 4 weeks. Luke Piscan go from failing at smma to building a profitable $10,000 a month agency, and many other beginners getting past $10,000 a month and existing agencies scale past $20,000 to $50,000 monthly recurring revenue range. And you can find the interviews with them on my YouTube channel. And I have a playlist called Client Interviews or something like that. Everything I cover in this presentation is based on my own experience and tests of what works and what doesn't. We have been testing this for a few years now, and we have done this with over 500 people, so I have a pretty good data set on this. And PS, here, some of the agency names are censored due to client requests. So now, let's talk about case studies. First thing what we have to understand, obviously, for any of this to make sense, is what is a case study. You'll be able to find many definitions for a case study online, but the way me and all our clients treat case studies is a well-documented report of a transformation in a specific time frame with irrefutable proof. In other words, a case study is a document, a report, or a video of you getting someone from state 1 to state 2. How long it took, what you did to make the transformation happen, and showing proof so the case study is actually believable. If you just tell someone that, hey, I got these people from 100,000 a month to 200,000 a month, but you don't have any proof, like an interview backing it up, it doesn't really matter. For example, a case study for a personal trainer could be how Jack lost 18 pounds in 5 months without dieting. If you're not new to the channel, you notice that it looks a lot like an offer. The difference is that this is just the title or thesis of the case study. Or how company ABC went from spending 10 hours per week on accounting to 4 hours a month with a custom software. So maybe if you are building an accounting custom software product. Or how this 9/11 Porsche went from 640 horsepower to over 800 horsepower in a week. That could also be a case study. It's a transformation from state 1 to state 2. Any of these has transformation. And if you want to juice up your Porsche, you'd at least be intrigued if you saw a video like that on YouTube or someone's website. Of course, these are just the titles here. A proper case study will have the starting state. So for example, only 640 horsepower on a Porsche 911. Then it's gonna also state the issue and problems in a current state. Maybe a wife who's about to leave because the neighbor's Corolla is pushing 700 horsepower. So obviously she's gonna leave. It has an alternative solution. The owner took it to a shop for a chip tuning, but they said it won't work for this specific model. So they tried already something, but it didn't work. It has steps or the actions that were taken. So you could outline in the case that, hey, we took out the factory turbo and added a new one with the supercharger. This added 60 horsepower, then we added a new exhaust. So you pretty much describe how you actually got these results and how you actually made this transformation happen. Then you have the finishing state. Getting on the dyno, the 911 was at an easy 803 horsepower. Then you have the outcome of the transformation. The wife didn't leave and take the kids, so they lived happily ever after. And then you have irrefutable proof, of course. So for example, have a clip of the car on the dynamo. You could have graphs of the power output or anything else that shows the transformation is true. You'll sometimes see case studies hidden as entertainment, as interviews, or maybe even as books. What is not a case study is just a few sentences about what you did and a picture or two. Also, someone else saying, John is a great personal trainer or Erla Cars is awesome are not case studies. Those are testimonials. They don't prove a transformation. So that is a huge difference. A lot of people, they always are looking for testimonials, for example, when building a business. So you might be running an SMMA agency, you get some good results for a client, and you're like, hey, can you film me a testimonial video? And the client films testimonial video and they're like, oh, this was great. This was so fun and this was so easy. Yeah, that's of course valuable, but it doesn't compare to a case study. It's not nearly as powerful. What we use and recommend to all of our clients is to do an interview. If it's not scripted, it will be more believable. And you can find a bunch of examples of them on my channel if you're interested. When we get someone really great results, we reach out to them and we're like, hey, do you want to hop on an interview? And then we just do an interview. We're talking through their transformation and what they were doing before and what are they doing right now, etc. And because it's a natural, non-scripted conversation, you can see that it's real. There's no fugazi, which makes it way more believable, which is the goal of a case study. Second thing, why revenue-focused case studies are quote-unquote the best. Not all case studies are created equal. Yes, the personal trainer with a good case study will get more clients and charge more than the trainer with no case study, but the absolute best case study to collect, if you're not an expert at something, is a revenue-focused case study. Something like how I took company X from 400,000 a year to 2 million a year in 12 months. Why are these stronger, you may ask? Well, if you're here to get never broke again ticket or to make sure you'll make good money for the rest of your life, the easiest way to do so is by showing you can make someone else money. That is definitely the easiest way to never go broke. Imagine this scenario. You have two friends trading meme coins. Both of them made $1 million from trading some meme coins. And you want one of them to manage your wallets. Friend A has no case study and just shows a screenshot of their portfolio and just says, hey, trust me, bro, nothing to worry about. I know what I'm doing. And then friend B sends a 30-minute video of the transformation with a lot of proof, what he struggled with and what he did to get to 1 million. You'll just know friend B knows his stuff. And you hope he won't stop being your friend because he's clearly a G. It's exactly the same for employers or companies. If you show proof that you made someone $100,000 before, then paying you $10,000 makes sense. But it's way harder to justify a $10,000 salary or a retainer or price, whatever, if your case is about losing 18 pounds. It's not as clear as when you're talking just about pure revenue and pure money. Then the third thing we have to understand, why having a case study will always keep you from dropping below a certain income level. This is fucking huge. If you're smart, you will treat your revenue focused case study exactly like your degree. And if you're really smart, you'll treat it better. Because like a degree, no one can take it away from you. But you can always use this case study to prove you're one valuable motherfucker for the rest of your life. It should be pinned on LinkedIn, it should be on your CV, it should be on your website if you have one. The more case studies, the better. Imagine you have 4 case studies showing you've made companies more than $100,000 in revenue. And should you be let go from your current job because maybe a misunderstanding with an HR or whatever, other companies will start salivating if they see 33 applicants from random university with 3.8 GPA and then there's one base motherfucker who has 4 case studies under his belt. I would know. I start salivating every time an applicant has well-documented case studies. We recently were just hiring for an appointment setter in-house. We got like 100 applications in the first 72 hours and I was going through the applications and everyone who had a case study, I immediately put them to stage 1. And having these revenue-focused case studies give you leverage to ask for a bigger piece of the pie. Because you don't have to grind for years at the company to show your value. You show it upfront and they will want you. So even if you should lose your income for any reason, having a case study or many case studies lets you bounce bounce back way faster and ensures that you won't drop below some specific income level ever again. For example, if you have a case study that you helped a company grow from 100,000 a month to 300,000 a month in 6 months, it's really hard for you to make less than $10,000 a month ever again in your life. You can always charge a few companies 5,000, 3,000 a month, or you can just have one client paying you 10,000 a month, whatever it might be. But it's really hard for you to go broke because of that case study. No one can ever take that case study away from you. It's the same thing that having a degree. If you have case studies, the odds of no one wanting your value and you having to scrub toilets at Burger King are ridiculously low. Of course, you still have to put in the effort to show that case study to people and show that case study to companies, but that's the easy part. The fourth thing, how to put yourself in the position to be able to collect a case study. Of course, let's address the elephant in the room. How do you actually generate revenue if you don't really have any sales or marketing skills? If you're a freelancer or software developer, you might have built solutions that can be attributed to revenue. If you're a designer, you might have done rebrand for a company that skyrocketed afterwards, or if you're a manager, your team might have generated some type of revenue, and so on. But if you have no experience or skills or anything like that, the only way to put yourself in a position to punch a never broke again ticket is to learn skills that increase revenue. I am biased, but I truly believe that B2B lead generation is the easiest and fastest way. Why? Because you only need to learn one skill, which is called outreach, to find clients for yourself using this skill and get leads for clients using that one skill. Your efforts are directly attributed to the revenue of your clients. It is extremely clear revenue attribution service. 63% of companies report that lack of leads is their biggest problem. I've seen people collect case studies in just a few weeks starting from zero, and you can either build an agency out of it or use it to get a high paying position in companies. And I'll show you some proof from our consulting clients. For example, Rupert conducted a case study interview this week, 3.5 months of sending emails from them, roughly 4x increase in MRR. Imagine if you can increase someone's monthly recurring revenue in 3.5 months. Imagine how many companies there are who want to pay you money, so do the same thing for them. Like increasing an MRR for a company 4x is like fucking huge. Or Jacques launched a version 2 offer using his only case study and booked immediately 3 calls for himself in a day. Or Luke just did the first client case study call and took them from $50,000 a month to just under $70,000 a month in 2.5 months. One more case study call with another client is scheduled for Monday too. Time to start printing. That is once again, if you can show them that, hey, this company was doing $50,000 a month and now they're doing $70,000 a month, 2.5 months later, that is like immediately extra $20K a month added to their business. Or Joel, not really a win, but why would you need to go to uni if you get job offers minutes after you started the campaigns? I remember Dwayne was a sailor. He was driving a boat for a living and traveling around the world and never was able to spend time with his family and all of these things. Really, really hectic lifestyle, of course. So he did some B2B lead gen, he started his agency, he got a case study, and then he posted this massive news, got the job as head of a growth, B2B SaaS, unicorn potential, fixed salary, 6 bonus structure, and stock options. So he went from pretty much being a sailor to being a head of growth at a really, really potential B2B SaaS company. Or Joe Boyle, just like a client, Inc. 5000 agency, one of the biggest agencies in the US, asked to acquire his agency, give him a full-time job, 401k, equity his company, and to manage all B2B sales for his company and his clients, and also would provide visas to live in the US and more. Just want to say what a crazy fucking world we live in. A few months ago, I was clicking some emails and now getting offered a 6-figure position at a company college kids would dream to work in. He knows that he's going to hit 100,000 a month or die trying, so he turned it down. But regardless, that client flew him out to Texas to plan the year. Or Joseph Slani, so a bit of a win, but transitioning into a new roles at one of my clients' companies, a hire in SaaS off the back of some pretty awesome results. He worked with the company and he got hired as the marketing manager to run the full front end of the sales process, lead gen plus closing demos, and that's the fun part of lead gen for him. Excited to be starting this week. On-time earnings of $260,000 a year. I could keep going, but I think you get the point. I'll stop shilling here. And if you're interested, of course, you can go to agentvelocity.io or binge my channel for more information about B2B lead generation agencies. So I have a bunch of videos where I just describe all of these things. Step number 5, which is how to collect a case study. This won't be too difficult. If you're in a position to collect a case study, you've already done the heavy lifting. To collect a case study, I'd recommend first write down the entire transformation from start to finish. Include as much proof as possible. Make it look nice and presentable. Second, ask your client or whoever you helped for an interview. And you can use this template. Pretty much subject line, quick interview, and this is an email template. You can send it on Slack, on WhatsApp, whatever. But your subject line is going to be quick interview, and then pretty much the email is just going to be, hey John, hope all is well. Wanted to reach out to ask if you'd be open to a quick 15-minute interview with me via Zoom. The purpose of the interview is to get better understanding of the challenges we are helping our customers overcome, get a better understanding of the language our customers use to describe their own challenges and situation, collect positive feedback if applicable, used for marketing, and we will of course clear everything with you before publishing, and you can disclose what you like, etc., quotes or testimonials, and collect feedback that we can use to improve our offer. And then optional, if there are super busy, so we'd like to offer you a $100 Amazon gift card or dinner card or whatever in exchange for 15 minutes. Would you be open to this? Cheers, your name, your title, and your company name. Of course, you can change the language as you need, less professional, talking about I instead of we, whatever makes it work for you. Now, on the interview, you first of all want to make sure you record it. That's of course the most important thing. Just go on Zoom and just press record. And then go through these questions. First question you ask is, when did you start working together? So this is gonna set the timeline. So hey, okay, John, thank you for being here. When did we start working together? And then your previous metric was state 1 metric. So what was your previous revenue before we started working together? And they're like, 30,000 a month. And okay, amazing. What is that metric right now? How much are you doing right now? We're doing 6,000 a month. So immediately we're answering, okay, they went from 30,000 a month to 60,000 a month in 6 months or 3 months or 1 month or whatever it might be. These are pretty much one of the most important questions to ask. Then tell me a little bit about your business. Here they're describing their business. So then a potential client or a potential employer, when they look at this interview, they're like, okay, hey, well, our business is exactly the same. Hey, we do the same exact thing. Then what were you doing before working with us or working with me? And once again, the whole point of this is for the person who's watching the interview, a potential client, they're gonna see, hey, we have also done those things and they also didn't work, you know? Because there's also like a finite amount of things that actually work in an industry. Then you ask what problems you were trying to solve, what were you trying and what were your frustrations, and what results did you achieve, what areas of your business or life improved and by how much, why do you think they improved, what was your ROI? So here we are once again just like digging out for like really golden information. What was the ROI of working with you? How did their life or business improve after working with you? What results they got, etc. These are like super important things. What do you think the impact of working with us has been? Because sometimes companies grow on their own. A company can go from 50,000 a month to 100,000 a month alone without anyone else. Then you also want to make sure that in the interview it is clear that the reason why they grew was because of you. So 100%, we would have not been able to do this without you. Where did you first hear about us, or where did you first hear about me, and what got your interest? Why did you decide to do business with us or with me? Here we are pretty much just like pointing out your valued props. Why did you decide to pull the trigger? So like, for example, they might say like, yeah, like we decided to work with you because you guys clearly knew what you were doing and like you were super professional, etc. Once again, a potential client is looking at the interview and they're thinking like, okay, this makes sense, and they're pretty much selling your service to everyone else who might be watching the interview. Describe working with us or with me. In what area did you get the most value? Why do you think that is? So the reason why we ask this is because when someone is thinking about buying your service, working with you, the first thing they're gonna think about is, okay, how does the actual day-to-day look like? How is it gonna actually like happen? So when your client answers, they're like, yeah, first you did this and then you did this. It gives a bunch of clarity so people have more decisions and better decisions so they're able to work with you. How likely are you recommend us or me? Why should someone listening to take action right now? Once again, we're just pretty much asking the client to sell our service or sell our offer. Last thing is, what can we or what can I improve? One of the main things how we will succeed in life is if you just make your clients happy. If you're a business owner or you just employer happy, whatever it might be, you just make the people who are paying you happy and satisfied and get them really good results. The main thing is the interview is not to make it seem super scripted. Chill out, have a natural conversation, and don't worry about all the ums and ahs. It needs to be natural, it needs to be raw. That's what people want to see. After you're done with the interview, just cut out all the filler parts. This makes the video shorter and easier to watch. You can cut it with ScreenFlow, you can cut it with CapCut. There's a bunch of editing softwares online. And once you're done, you just upload the video on Vimeo or YouTube or Wistia and include that in the document you wrote out. So you have a Google document and your written transformation, and then you also have a link to the interview. Now you have a never broke again ticket. But to make sure it's valuable to you, you need to punch it. The good thing is you can punch it over and over again. There's no limitation to how many things you can punch it. The sixth step is going to be how to use your new ticket to move up in income brackets. So okay, we've gotten our never broke again ticket, but how do you actually use it for your benefit? I already mentioned things like pinning it on your LinkedIn profile or throwing it up on your website, but the main thing about having a case study is the right people need to see it for doors to open. In the business world and marketing world, we call it traffic. You can have the best case study of all time, but if no one knows about you and if no one knows about the case study, it will be absolutely worthless. And there's two ways you can go. First, you can use the case study to climb the workforce ladder, applying for dream positions at dream companies to shave off years of corporate ass kissing, because as you know, college kids don't usually get offered head of growth positions or equity or any of these things in companies. Or you can use the case study to build a service-based business around it, work for yourself and achieve location, financial and time freedom. If you want to go path one, building your network, applying for positions, propping up your LinkedIn are the way to go. And if you want to go path two, building your network, propping up your LinkedIn, creating a personal brand, running ads, etc. is the way to go. And spoiler here is learning how to do good cold outreach will work the fastest for both paths. But there's no right or wrong way here. People are different. Some don't want to build a business, some do. But almost everyone wants to increase their income. And collective revenue focused case study studies is the fastest and most efficient way to do so. If you're not sure which path you want to take, but understand how valuable having a case studies under your belt is and that you need a skill to make it happen, I am inviting you to work with us at agentsvelocity.io to do so. We mainly talk about agencies, but we've had many clients move to high-paying positions just a few months in. And when you're working with us at agentsvelocity.io, you will learn the skills to do either one. Take action. Go check out agentsvelocity.io. Go check out all the other videos on my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.